So there's this podcast you may have heard of called Call Me Daddy, where two girls just... Every time I try and explain this video to my friends today, I keep saying call me daddy. No, the podcast is called Call Her Daddy, in which two girls, Alex and Sophia, just obnoxiously shout about sex and blowjobs and stuff. It was already a huge podcast, but a few weeks ago it made headlines because of a business disagreement between Alex and Sophia and just general shady, backstabbing behaviour from the both of them, but more so Sophia than Alex. So much so that it's culminated with Sophia leaving the podcast because of her own hubris. Public opinion has actually sided with Alex because she did this long explanation video of what went down, and I don't listen to the podcast. I was aware of it because I remember, Tana Mojo fucked them over once by not bothering to turn up for an interview, which is classic Tana Mojo. So I never listened to the podcast, but I did sit down and watch that entire 30-minute long video because I was bored. That was it, really. I remember my thoughts throughout watching that video were mainly, oh my god, who the hell cares? So then, out of curiosity to see what all the fuss was about in regards to this podcast, I ended up watching a clip of the Call Her Daddy vlogs. I don't know if this is like a Freudian slip coming out here or... But yeah, I watched a clip, I watched one of their videos and I was immediately annoyed. These two girls are really, really annoying and seem to think the height of comedy is just being really loud. But I am also aware of the fact that when I discover something, my usual response is to dislike it or hate it or find it irritating because I'm a very irritable person. But then slowly it will start growing on me, and after more and more exposure I'll end up liking it. But I hope that's not the case in this regard. However, I will admit, since watching that first clip, now my YouTube recommended is just full of Call Her Daddy, and I'm low-key addicted to watching clips of these two act obnoxiously to other people. And I hate that I said that, but I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean. I think I've got a bit of a love to hate them kind of thing going on, except I don't really hate them, because what's the point hating people that I've never met? Unless it's Hitler. And that's okay, but two people just doing a podcast talking about sucking dick, no need to hate them really. Hate's a bit of a heavy word is all I'm saying. I've got a love to find them irritating thing going on. Really catchy, isn't it? Say that 10 times. Basically, these girls have terrible morals, but I think I've grown a sort of tolerance to their awfulness because now I just find them fascinating specimens. I can't believe people like this actually exist. It's fun. In a terrible way. I'm also fully aware that these two could be acting up and, playing it for the camera when they annoy their co-workers and such. But Dave, what's his face? Yeah, Dave Bloke, who owns Barstool Media, which hosts the podcast and owns the IP to Call Her Daddy. When they had this public disagreement a few weeks ago, he went on some live stream being like, they were annoying to work with and they never came into the office. So it seems that, the annoyance is real. Occam's razor, really, isn't it? The most likely answer is they are super fucking annoying in real life. But I'll show you guys what I mean. Okay, but before we get into that, I've seen on some news sites, because I did my research for this video, that they say the idea for Call Her Daddy came from Sophia and Alex were one day having this really loud conversation about sex and people started crowding round them. It drew an audience as if it were Jesus sermoning his disciples or Socrates lecturing Plato and them other blokes. Except instead of Socrates saying the only true knowledge is in knowing that you know nothing, he instead said the way to a man is not through the heart nor the mind, but instead knowing how to do the Gluck Gluck 9000 so hard that you end up vomiting on his penis. Basically, it's bollocks. On what planet would two girls having a loud, obnoxious conversation about sex attract a crowd? Who wrote this fan fiction? If two people tried to be that obnoxious in England, you'd either A, get tutted at really loudly, or 2, get started on by a group of chavs. God, I love this country. Okay, first off, I hate this intro. I Hate it so much that I love to hate it. It helps me get up in the morning knowing this intro is out there waiting for me to punch it in the face with solid hatred. I hate it. The smug voice, do you call her daddy? Like they really think they did something there by repeating the same sentence 3 times. Golden. Never change this intro or I might wither away into the ether after losing my arch nemesis.
This is our best friend, Jared.
Oh my god, we
hang out with Jared every single day at the office.
Tell him, Jared.
Jared, tell them.
Fucking tell him. Let's get hammered. What if we get the entire office so drunk right now and we start like a party?
I don't know if that's gonna work.
Bit hard to do that, isn't it, when everyone in the office hates you?
Where's the PA system?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an announcement.
It's the daddy girls, guys.
Dave is gone. The daddy girls are here. We're playing a round of Power Hour.
The face when you have a mortgage but 2 girls want to risk your career with a mid-shift party.
Everyone, I hope you ate today. You're about to get fucked up.
We just took 5 shots each. If you guys want to join us, go to the bar, take shots, and then we're going to go to Gem Saloon and we're going to go get hammered.
Look at how no one likes them.
I'm like, really going to shit.
And here we see that her natural instincts are taking over. The drunk girl seeks the highest surface from which to perform her mating dance, one of nature's most morbidly fascinating displays.
Dave!
The guys are like, ladies, we just want to eat. Please stop. You've been doing this for days now. Please, I have a wife and a kid. I need to go home. Please, just come down from the table. Come down. You've got so much to live for. In the desperate attempt for more attention from their male counterparts, the females then engage in a show of athleticism to show that they are of good breeding stock. Having exhausted their efforts to attract all males within earshot, a 1-mile radius for such incredibly obnoxious creatures, the specimens let biochemistry take over, releasing pheromones to lure in the most susceptible males in their vicinity, powerful enough to overcome the stench of vodka and drool. And the comment section on this video, by the way, were full of simps. So many people being like, oh, the Call Me Daddy girls actually represent Barstool Sports and the actual employees are just all lame. Look at them, they're all so lame because fuck those people for trying to do a little bit of paperwork. Am I right, fellas?
Okay, stop real quick.
Yeah, of course.
The only thing I'm taking from this video is that bit is a little bit to me. Like, he didn't even say, how are you? Just jumped straight in there with the, can I get a selfie? Sorry, New Yorkers, but as a Londoner, I must say, you guys are so rude. Where are your manners? If I'm going to ask for a selfie from a famous person on the street, I would at least, as any self-respecting Brit should do, pretend to care about how their day is going first. It's just basic courtesy, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving! Gobble gobble! We are about to prep our turkey cooch gobbler combo style.
What did that poor turkey do to deserve this?
You gotta lube her up and get her really wet. Rub and kiss her inner thigh. And spit on that hoe.
Imagine dying and being skinned just to be spat on by 2 horny girls. Some people are into that, you know. And why are there subtitles on this video? I don't need 2 ways to soak in this drivel. Thank you very much. I'm just going to leave this here and not say anything at all.
Woo! This lighting is money, baby! Oh! Telling him today I need a few hours and you're just gonna have to deal with it and I've definitely been acting a little goddamn out of my fucking rocker. Good Troop, I miss you. I'm so happy to be here. I'm back and then ever.
So all that stuff I just showed you is all well and good, but Alizee, what's the point making this video so they're a little bit annoying? Yes, the real shit comes out when the girls sit down to talk about boys. This is from a short-lived show called The Group Chat with some other fucking woman. I don't have a clue. No idea. Can't be bothered. Don't care. Who this woman... Whatever. Alex, Sophia, and second Alex. Let's just call her that. And this episode is titled, Is it wrong to go through your partner's phone? The answer may surprise you.
Because I have girlfriends who are in situations like across the country. They're like, oh, like I'm casually hooking up with this guy. Some of them live in the same city, some of them don't. And they're like, what do you do on Valentine's Day? Because if you're in a serious relationship, you know you're celebrating Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
If you're single, you know you're celebrating like
By yourself with
Valentine's or by
Domino's.
yourself. Like, and everyone's like, oh, I'm single. I don't need no man. Like, no, you're crying, you're drinking wine, and you're eating pizza.
Yeah.
But
Is this legitimately a thing that people do? Cry and drink wine because they're single? I've never not related to something more. Once, I watched this Japanese TV show, fiction, about this robot, and he was designed to be a love bot. And then, spoiler alert, for anyone who knows what I'm talking about, he falls in real love at the end, and then she loves him, and then he doesn't die because he's a robot, but he deactivates forever. And I cried at that. I cried over a robot who didn't exist. But I've never sat and cried, or when I used to drink wine, I never got drunk because, I'm single, I can't. Is that a thing that happens outside of TV shows, like Sex and the City and stuff? Because guys, being in a relationship is only good if you're in a healthy relationship with the right person, not just bouncing from relationship to relationship for the sake of it because you can't deal with being alone. Because ultimately, aren't we all alone? Don't we all enter the void, come through the void and go back through the void alone? How can you prove that anyone else really exists after all? You know, I think therefore I am, but all this could be just an illusion. So you've got to be really happy with yourself and not sit and cry over the thought of not being in a relationship. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, no, just me. Okay.
Basically, everything I find on the phone, I blame it on someone else that they told me. I don't think that you should ever admit that you're going through the phone, because they are just going to get a new password. They are going to change names of people in their phones. Like, they're just going to get way more intense at hiding it. So it's like, you got to keep that to yourself if you're going to go through the phone. That's what I think.
Piece of advice for guys, if you're going to go through your girls' phones, which I would not advise, but don't go looking for text messages between her and a dude. Go into her best friend's text messages.
Right, so at this point, I'm so desensitized to how sloppy their morals are, for lack of a better word. Not the right word. Let's run with it. Sloppy their morals are, that they just had a whole conversation about snooping through someone's phone and how you shouldn't really do it, but I guess it's okay to do it if you think they're cheating or something like that. And I zoned out for all of it. I started playing a game on my phone instead. Not even a good game. This clicky game called Cells. I'm going to do a video on it because it's nothing to do with this video. But I was playing a dinosaur game rather than... And the dinosaur game, you have to watch adverts for half of it. So I was choosing to watch adverts rather than listen to what was going on. So I think that speaks for itself, really, doesn't it? So this episode is called When Is Your Hookup Roster Too Full? In which they talk about whether it's possible to date too many people at once. Oh, the horror. So in this chat, Sophia says that even if you're boyfriend and girlfriend with someone, like you've established that, you've said, yep, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, it's still okay to mess around with other people, like in a flirty or sexual manner, because nothing means anything anymore, does it? No, really, both Alex and Sophia justify it as if the guy doesn't see you as his future wife material, then it's fine for you to fuck around and date other people, even if you've said you're going to be exclusive with them. 21D chess, anyone?
This is gonna piss some people off, and I'm sorry.
I'm here for it.
Unless a guy is, even when he says boyfriend and girlfriend, I think you can still kind of have a roster.
Me too.
At this
age, unless I'm engaged to be married,
yes.
I kind of feel like...
When you're in your late 20s, early 30s, if a guy is not going to sit there and be like, I see us getting married, your roster is...
You can never have, you always got to have your backups.
Here's a wild, educated guess, though. Maybe the geezer doesn't see you as a potential future wife because you don't have any concept of what loyalty is. Because you know when you get married, right, you know you vow to remain true to someone. So if you want to get married, relationships are kind of test runs for that, right? So if you're fucking around, why would he then want to marry someone that's cheating all the time? Interesting. If you want to be like this, why don't you just say that you're polyamorous? This is the 21st century. It's 2020. Polyamory is not unusual, but you'd think I'd learn how to fucking pronounce it. It's not unusual in current year, so if you want to still see other people, just say you want to have an open relationship. You know, because then no one can get... Why am I bothering? Why am I fucking bothering? I'm going to stop.
There are guys that are willing to say, like, I am your boyfriend, but if you are thinking that you want to get married and have kids, and this guy is not giving you that option, then you should be able to keep your options open.
Well, if they don't want to commit, that's the thing too, is when you get older, is like people's like fundamental like philosophies change. Like, do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Whatever.
Yeah. Right.
If they don't want the same thing as you.
Yeah. Right.
What are you supposed to do?
So, yeah.
What type of logic is that from Second Alex? My boyfriend doesn't want the same thing as me, so what else am I supposed to do other than cheat on him? I don't know, Second Alex, maybe try breaking up with him. Just ends the relationship. What's wrong with doing that? You strange, dishonest people.
Even if he's your boyfriend.
Right.
Then you're kind of like, well, I want to eventually get married and have kids. So
like,
if there's
love
another
hooking
guy
up
that
with
comes
you,
into the picture.
yeah. Everyone is fucking lying in 2019 because it's fucking
Again,
millennials.
2019
right.
sucks.
So just
Prepare.
prepare.
2020.
If you guys think 2019 sucks, then boy, do I have some bad news for you. Isn't it funny how they talk about how it's fine to entertain other guys if you're in a relationship, aka cheat on them? Yet in the previous episode, they revealed that they went to insane lengths to check up if a boy was cheating on them. Doesn't make any sense. Some might say they're being hypocritical, but not me. I'd never say such things.
Because this like occurred to me. I remember when this guy, like, he totally fucked me over. And that weekend, I did a good old drive-by by his house. And I was wondering, have you girls...
Then Sophia goes on to reveal that once she tried to do a drive-by, as in go to someone's house and check to make sure the guy wasn't doing anything shady, she tried to go into his house, tried to break into his house, but was stopped because the front door was locked. Then Alex recalls how once one of her exes, drove by hers to check that she was having a nap. She told him she was having a nap in her room, but actually she was on a date with someone else. So he drove by, he looked through the front, her front window, saw that she wasn't in bed, called her out on it, and she made up this ridiculous lie about how she'd fallen asleep in the kitchen.
You're not in your bed. And I lied and said I fell asleep in the kitchen. Like an actual psychopath. And he was like, what do you mean you fell? I'm like, on the chair, on the table.
But
like,
honestly,
it was crazy.
Deny till you die.
That's what I did.
Deny till you die.
I mean, wait,
I made him believe it.
He couldn't.
And then she convinced him of it. Because remember, everyone, gaslighting is fine as long as you're doing it on men. Then Sophia goes on to say how an ex wants to drive by of hers to check that she wasn't cheating on him, but she was. But then the ex didn't notice the other guy's car was in the drive, and then all the women laugh about how stupid this boyfriend was for wanting to trust her.
And the guy that did the drive-by didn't notice. So I'm like, okay, like,
Wait,
what the
he
hell?
didn't notice that
He
was
didn't
hers?
notice.
So what was he looking for?
I have no clue. I'm like, are you an idiot? He literally told me verbatim. He was like, it was such a relief. Like, I saw that you were just home and no one was there, and I was
You're like, bitch, did you see
someone
the car?
there and
in
here.
and here.
and actually here.
And actually really
like right here.
Jeez, what an idiot. Am I right, ladies? I told you that these girls are kind of terrible, but it's fascinating and I just can't look away. Now you may be wondering, why on earth do these girls bother having boyfriends if they're just going to cheat on them all the time? But they seem to pick only people who also cheat on them, so I guess it kind of all works out in the end. I lost some serious brain cells doing this video, so that's all for this video. If you enjoyed watching this, and do remember to like, comment, subscribe. I make new videos whenever I feel like it. Follow me on Instagram and support me on Patreon if you'd like. I guess that's all. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Actually, Alex, if you're watching this, I'll be the co-host with you on Call Her Daddy. Why not? Let's change it though to Call Me Daddy. Bye, guys.